Catalonia is in the northeast of Spain. Barcelona is the main city in the region, but the rally is again based in the resort town of Salou. There are 16 stages in total, but for 2010 there is a special twist. In the rally proper, Sebastian has an unassailable lead of 60 points over his compatriot Sebastian Ogier. The focus now switches on the battle for the runner-up spot, with Ogier, Jari-Matti Latvala and Petter Solberg all vying for second place. Citroën also claimed the manufacturer's title on their home event. They are 111 points ahead of Ford, with their junior team lying third. But the nation's home star was certainly given a hero's welcome at the start ramp as the event was officially begun. There will be no easy start to this rally as we kick off with the 36 kilometres of Terra Alta. This is a classic gravel stage with its mixture of rough and smooth to test the cars and drivers, while the 7 kilometres of twisty tarmac, marked here in green, could be very tough on tyres. This is followed by the all-gravel La Ribera d'Ebre, and the loop is completed with the mixed surface La Garrigues test. Loeb is the world champion again, and the winner in Spain for the last 5 years is first into this 36-kilometre test. Rally Catalonia is go, and for the first time in almost 2 decades we're on Spanish gravel instead of tarmac. Not great visibility in the fog, but with the gravel bound together in these damp conditions, there is no road sweeping for Seb here. And in this fast-flowing first few kilometres, Loeb's already in committed mood, despite the really misty view ahead and a very narrow road as well. Next into this challenging opening stage is Loeb's compatriot Sebastian Ogier. And the key to this mixed surface opening loop could be who's made the best setup compromise. And as we've seen frequently this season, Ogier is no slouch on gravel. Next up is Jari-Matti Latvala. Oh, but he's stalled. Focus is quickly restarted and he's on his way. But for Jari and the Ford team, it's been a difficult period as they've watched Loeb and Citroën sweep away the championship titles in emphatic fashion. Their 25-year-old second driver has been in impressive form of late though, and he should enjoy these fast-flowing gravel roads. Petter Solberg has shown impressive pace in his privately run Citroën C4 all season, and the experienced Norwegian should know how to tackle these changing surfaces. Petter is looking a bit loose early on though. And changing his pace notes there on the first competitive pass through this stage. The hopes of the home nation rest firmly on the shoulders of Dani Sordo and co-driver Diego Vallejo. For 4 years running, the Spaniards finished second best to his teammate Loeb. With the championship secure though, this could be Dani's best chance for glory. Unfortunately, like Solberg, he's struggling to match Loeb's pace in stage 1. Mikko Hirvonen has suffered a humbling 2010 season after finishing a point away from the championship title last year. Running 6th on the road, Mikko should have a cleaner line than the front runners, but in these damp conditions, he's not really seeing much advantage. The Spanish gravel proving challenging then. Loeb, meanwhile, is about to move on to one of the tarmac sections. A swift change of driving style needed for the Frenchman as he adapts to the strange sensation of driving on asphalt in a car set up for gravel. The high suspension and gravel tyres will make this a challenging few kilometres for Loeb and the chasing pack.
It was a little bit humid, so maybe a bit less cleaning and flat out, so nothing to lose.
And at the moment, that chasing pack is being led by Latvala. The BP4 man has been the closest to Loeb's split time so far in this 36-kilometre stage, and he's fast approaching the finish line now. Less than 3 seconds down on the world champion. Loeb, though, clearly not bothered by running first on the road in these damp conditions.
We stalled the engine in the start line. It's something wrong with the clutch. That has really not happened for a long time. We lost a few seconds with there. Then it was difficult to get the rhythm, and the tarmac section was so much cutted. There was so much gravel that we were losing too much on that section.
Latvala not quite finding a rhythm on the mixed surfaces then, and Peter Solberg too has been a little off Loeb's pace in Terra Alta. The former world champion may have gone the wrong way with his setup compromise to tackle the changing surface, and Peter is more than 20 seconds off the pace.
I couldn't get the traction. I just have to wait and wait and wait, so that's it.
Peter not enjoying the conditions then. The Spanish fans will be hoping Dani Sordo's fared better, but he too may have chosen a setup too hard for this mainly gravel stage. As he charges into the flying finish, he's already well off his teammates' pace. Well, that's a disappointing start for a man who has hopes of winning this rally. Dani already 15 seconds behind.
I need a little bit more grip, maybe. I have a little bit hard in the sprints, but anyway, it's bad.
Only Latvala got anywhere near the pace of Loeb. The four-man finishing stage 1, 2.7 seconds behind Sebastian Ogier, was third fastest. He's more than 7 seconds off the leader's pace, while Hirvonen, Sordo and Solberg make up the rest of the top 6. Welcome back to the Rally de España in Catalonia, where world champion Sebastian Loeb has made the best start to this mixed surface opening day. Loeb, though, isn't able to maintain his winning pace on the all-gravel stage 2. Whoa, and that's a really close call by Citroen's #1 in the flying finish. The Frenchman rapidly puts that moment behind him, though. Sebastian is quickest again through the 12-kilometre stage 3. Sebastian Ogier, meanwhile, is still struggling to match the leader's pace after selecting a setup a little too hard for these conditions.
150 mètres, Jean-Marie, -1. Léger droite 154, 5 freins ancienne pour gauche 120 plus. Gauche 120 plus. Et droite 140, moins mi-long, mi-corde qui ferme léger. Sur gauche 140, moins 80 mètres arrivée. Pour gauche droite 140.
Ogier too really wide in this stage 2 flying finish. Well, despite Ogier's wild lines, he is actually closing on Jari-Matti Latvala. The Ford driver is again unable to find a flowing rhythm on these changing surfaces. There are some really dirty, slippery sections to negotiate here. And Latvala really wide at that left-hander. Jari slips behind Ogier and into third. After his slightly off-par performance in the opening test, meanwhile, Peter Solberg is now right on the pace. Citroen Privateer sets the fastest time in stage 2, and with the third quickest time in 3, he storms up 2 places on the leaderboard to claim 4th.
And line into 3 right plus tightens, 1 tightens.
Peter working really hard, manhandling the C4 through this twisty technical section. For Spanish sensation Dani Sordo, meanwhile, it's been a frustrating start to his home event. Expecting drier conditions like Ogier, he's opted for a setup a bit too hard for these slippery roads. Dani is quicker than Loeb in stage 2, but then loses another 10 seconds in the mixed surface stage 3. He slips to 6 and is more than 25 seconds behind his teammate at the end of the morning loop. Dani really cautious here as he tackles the tarmac section in this car set up for gravel. A disappointing start for Sordo, but it's been a terrific start for his teammate. Loeb leads by almost 12 seconds from Sebastian Ogier, while Latvala slipped to third. Solberg's pace sees him move up to 4th, while Hirvonen remains 5th at the moment. Soon on their way back out to the mixed surface Terra Alta stage, and with the sun now beating down and the roads dried out, Loeb could face some road sweeping issues this afternoon. Seb on his way then, and there definitely is still plenty of loose gravel around. The world champion's lead could be under threat in the second loop. Sébastien Ogier is currently Loeb's closest rival. The Citroën Junior man begins the afternoon just under 12 seconds behind the rally leader. Ogier really has pedal to the metal here in stage 4. It's been a rapid getaway from the Frenchman. While Ogier begins to find some pace to challenge the leader, it's still not happening for Dani Sordo. Despite changing his setup slightly in service, Dani is still unable to find any sort of rhythm on these changeable roads. Unable to take advantage of his road order advantage, Sordo actually loses more time to the leading drivers. Up ahead though, Loeb is definitely struggling. Even with 8 kilometers of tarmac in here, he looks set to lose some time to his rivals.
Et droite 140 moins mi-long tard. Sur gauche à fond long tard. Et droite 140.
So Loeb is definitely suffering as the first car on the road, and judging from the early split times, Ogier is taking full advantage. We'll join him here as he surges through the final few corners on this short tarmac section.
Droite 140 à fond, arrivé, 80 mètres, 140 à fond, ancienne.
Wow, a terrific drive in there from the young Frenchman. 8.5 seconds quicker than Loeb. He's closed right up on the leader. Yarimati bouncing through the compression. He's also had a strong run through stage 4. The Flying Finn also beats Loeb's effort, and he consolidates his position in third. Despite being urged on by the Spanish fans, Sordo's bewildering lack of pace is showing no sign of ending. It's another really disappointing stage for the home hero. He's more than 21 seconds off the time set by Ogier. Sordo's frustrating run has left him over 38 seconds behind the leader, while Loeb's advantage out front has been slashed to just 3.4 by Ogier. Latvala remains in third place, with Peter Solberg still fourth. Matt Wilson is looking for a strong finish to the season while he seeks to secure a programme for 2011. The Stobart Ford man is running in his familiar 7th place, but is almost 2 minutes behind Dani Sordo.
Left 2 minus neat. Repeat, late left 2 minus neat. 40, slight left.
Behind Wilson, a battle for 8th has been bubbling away between Ken Block and this man, Federico Villagra. The Argentine is hoping for a good result on his last outing in the Ford Focus, and he currently has the edge, despite damaging his steering with this moment earlier in the day. Block lost the position to Federico in stage 4, but is still very much in touch as the crews head on to the day's final pair of stages, and Ken is certainly relishing this unique mixed surface challenge. Although his car has been in the wars, he sustained a bit of front bumper damage there. Back at the head of the field, meanwhile, the pressure is building on the rally leader. Sébastien Ogier is in inspired form this afternoon, and the Frenchman's dogged pursuit of the world champion has continued. Ogier beats his compatriot again in stage 5 and is now just 2.1 seconds behind.
Sur gauche 120 cordes, gauche 120 cordes. Sur droite 120 plus mi-corde, droite 120 plus mi-corde pour attention.
Loeb is not a man comfortable with defeat though, and his response is immediate and impressive.
Corde légère sur attention 70 mètres. Gauche 130 plus mi-long.
Making the most of the long tarmac section that finishes stage 6, he claims his 3rd fastest time of the day, and the rally leader maintains his hold on the top spot.
Droite 140 ancienne.
With the leading pair of Citroëns inspiring each other to even greater heights, Jari-Matti Latvala is beginning to drift away from the fight for the lead. Clip to rock there, lucky not to pick up a puncture, but the Finn has struggled for pace through the day's final 2 stages, and he ends the afternoon loop over 16 seconds behind Ogier. And worryingly for Latvala, Peter Solberg has been showing impressive pace on both gravel and tarmac. The Norwegian is quickest through stage 5 and bettered only by Loeb in 6, and he ends the day just a couple of seconds behind the man in 3rd.
Tightens early. Opens half long. Tightens half long.
Danny Sordo's hopes of claiming a first win on home soil, meanwhile, now look rather bleak. Unable to find any confidence on these challenging mixed surface stages, the frustrated Spaniard ends the day almost a minute behind his rally-leading teammate. Loeb hadn't expected to lead after the first day, but with road order not proving an issue in Catalonia, it's the world champion who is out front. He will take a lead of 3.8 seconds over Ogier into the tarmac stages of day 2. The crews return to gravel for day 2. But before the drivers could tackle the tarmac, the mechanics first had to transform the cars from a gravel setup to a tarmac version. It was an impressive feat, the guys only having 75 minutes to replace the transmission, the brakes, the suspension and the rear differential. It's a dramatic transformation. Day 2 is all tarmac then and starts with Santa Marina, 26.5 kilometres of fast-flowing roads, the sort that Rally Catalunya is renowned for. Stage 8, La Massara, is a stage of 2 halves with a fast start and a technical finish. The 16 kilometres of Rio de Cañas completes the loop of 3 stages. These are repeated in the afternoon to provide a total of 126.6 competitive kilometres. It's a sunny but cool start to the day for rally leader Sebastian Loeb as he prepares to take on Spain's tarmac roads. After a surprisingly easy run to the rally lead on day 1's gravel stages, Loeb will now use his considerable tarmac skills to attempt to pull away from Sebastian Ogier, who starts the day just 3.8 seconds behind. Looking at Seb's telemetry now, a completely different driving style needed to tackle these tarmac roads compared to yesterday's gravel. With the cars all lowered and suspension stiffened, these fast-flowing Catalan roads are actually the closest the WRC gets to circuit racing. It's also frighteningly quick in places as well, as you can see by glancing at the speedometer. Loeb really is the master in such conditions, and a pleasure to watch as he really begins to attack these flowing roads. Loeb on his way then, and 2 minutes later, it's Ogier's turn to tackle the 26.5 kilometres of Santa Marina. Ogier also neat and tidy as he looks to clip the apex of each corner. With shakedown and day 1 all run in a gravel setup, it will take a bit of time for the drivers to adjust to a pure tarmac technique and setup this morning. The leading Citroens looking to set a hot pace for the following cars to chase, and this will be a much tougher challenge for leading Ford driver Jani-Matti Latvala. The 25-year-old has worked hard on his tarmac pace, but staying in touch with the Frenchman ahead is not going to be easy, and he's selected a setup that may be slightly too hard for these roads. This smooth asphalt is still quite slippery in places. Not only is Jari beginning to slip adrift of the Sebastians, he also has a fired-up Peter Solberg hot on his heels. The 2003 world champion began the stage just 2.5 seconds back, and as he powers through these flowing asphalt roads, he's beginning to hunt down Latvala.
6 left minus opens, extra long.
Nico Hirvonen claimed his first podium finish in Spain 5 years ago, but he's a long way from repeating that feat at the moment. The BP4 driver is in 5th place, but while he enjoys driving on tarmac, it's not his strongest surface, and he may struggle to hold off local star Danny Sordo this morning. Up ahead with Loeb through the stage, Ogier is the first to test himself against the man who is unbeaten on tarmac since 2004.
Avant droite 123 millions, ferme 100 en moins. 123 millions, ferme 100 en moins. 50 mètres. Leader moins 3, droite 133, frein pour gauche 103. Gauche 103 qui ferme 90 plus.
Here come the yellow boards that mark the start of the flying finish. Not a bad effort from Sebastian, but he's still 4.4 seconds slower than the imperious Loeb. And moving back to the fight for third, can Solberg make it past Latvala at the first time of asking?
A little hand line, 5 right tight, opens long, tight 3 minus, half long, tight 2 plus, tight. In the 6
Last couple of corners now, this is looking good for Petter.
Tight 2 minus, half long.
He's going to do it.
Long, keep very into.
Yep, a strong start for the Norwegian. He moves into third and is now over 5 seconds ahead of Latvala. A strong performance from Petter in stage 7 then, and after his disappointing run in the first day, Danny Sordo too is looking very committed this morning as he seeks to fight his way up the leaderboard from 6th. His first target is Hirvonen, who he beats by 9.1 seconds in Santa Marina. Now just 3.2 seconds behind Hirvonen's 5th spot, but he's exactly a minute behind his teammate Loeb, who made that stage-winning start to the day. The leader is now 8.2 seconds ahead of Ogier, while Petter Solberg has made it past Latvala to claim third. Welcome back to Spain, where Sebastian Loeb leads the way in Rally Catalunya with Sebastian Ogier second. There are 2 more tarmac stages to run this morning before a return to service. This is, of course, the last outing for the Citroën C4 on tarmac, a surface on which it's never been beaten. And with Loeb leading and this man Ogier running second, the car could sign off its asphalt career in style with a 1-2 finish. Oh, he's lost it! Ogier got that tight left-hander all wrong, and that was a pretty heavy impact. Struggling to get going again. He's also facing in the wrong direction, so needs a quick 180 to flip the car around. Let's take another look at that. Feel the impact inside the car. Way too fast for such a tight corner. The side of the car slides into the arm coat. Well, that could be Ogier's hopes of fighting for the win over. Petter Solberg, meanwhile, is fast approaching the scene of Sebastian's accident.
3 left plus opens long, tight 2 minus, tight 1. Tight minus, half long.
You can see the skid marks left from Ogier's slide.
2 right, tight 1.
And there is his car, still at the side of the road. He's obviously been forced to make emergency repairs, and Petter should now move past the Frenchman and into second. Ogier may have slipped up, but Danny Sordo is now very much back up to speed on these tarmac roads he knows so well. He too passes the stranded Ogier and also gets past Hirvonen on stage 8 to move up 2 places to 4th. The sweeping roads of La Massara really proving a challenge for some then. Ken Block could move up to 8th following Ogier's delay.
Into right 5 minus, maybe 5 minus, 120. Left 4 minus long, 4 minus long, floor. Kings 250.
Oh, but he's off too! A big moment for Ken as well, and he's off the road. A nearby fan caught the incident just a bit too quick into the corner. He drifts wide. A lucky escape for Ken.
Kings 250. Oh, geez.
When he hits that bank, they were braced for a big impact. The American drops almost 5 minutes and slips to 11th. Frustration for Block and Ogier then. The latter has made it to the finish of the stage and is continuing his repairs in the road section. He's already lost more than 15 minutes though, so his hopes of fighting for the win are now long gone. Moving on to the 16-kilometre Rue de Cagnes, and you get a real sense of the natural flow of these Catalan roads from above here. With Ogier dropping back, Jari-Matti Latvala is back into the podium places, but is keeping one eye on the building speed of Danny Sordo. Finn driving at his absolute limit on his least favourite surface to stay ahead. Sordo's charge is now in full flow. He's clearly regained his confidence after the frustration of day one. He's second fastest for the second stage in a row, beating Latvala by another 6.5 seconds, and he halves the gap between them. And as ever on this event, thousands of Danny's compatriots are lining the stage to cheer him on. The winner in Spain for the last 5 years, though, has again found another level on the fast-flowing asphalt. Loeb has won all 3 stages on the morning loop, and following Ogier's crash, the leader is now ahead of the chasing pack by over 46 seconds. After that eventful morning loop, it's now Petter Solberg who's Loeb's closest rival. Latvala is third for now, but has Sordo just 6.1 seconds behind. Hirvonen is still in fifth, with Matt Wilson up to sixth. Back at the service park at Portaventura, eating down, it's time to head back up to the blisteringly quick Santa Marina test, and fresh from claiming his 7th World Championship in France, Sebastian Loeb is beginning to enjoy himself again on the Catalan asphalt. Loeb blasts back off into the 26 kilometres of stage 10. The Citroën Total driver's neat, precise style has always been well suited to these smooth flowing roads, where the perfect line and good judgment of braking distances have always been rewarded. Seb is flying through Santa Marina's sinuous bends, and the Frenchman will take some stopping now. While Loeb continues untroubled out front, Petter Solberg and Jani-Matti Latvala will be keeping a close eye on the split times of a charging Danny Sordo this afternoon. Petter also enjoys tarmac rallies and does have an asphalt win on his CV, albeit 7 years ago. Solberg certainly looking up for the fight. It's a really aggressive start to the afternoon from the Norwegian.
Well, I asked Sebastian to be a little bit nice to me, because I want to get rid of the 13 stage wins, 13 rallies for winning, I want to get 14, I said. It sounds better, but, he should have a little bit feeling for me, a little bit after so many years,
Well, Loeb hoping for a bit of charity from Loeb there, while Latvala's hold on third is looking increasingly precarious. The Finn begins stage 10 just 6.1 seconds ahead of Spanish star Sordo, and while it's been a spirited defence of the position so far from Jari, the Citroën man is edging ever closer. While Latvala battles hard to hold on to third, his teammate is in trouble. Hirvonen clearly off the pace in stage 10. A turbo problem has left Mikko limping through. With Mikko so underpowered, he could be caught by Sordo in the stage here. Well, there is the focus up ahead, and Hirvonen may not be aware Danny's behind. No way past, it's really narrow. Well, Mikko definitely will be aware now. Sordo giving Mikko a tap to let him know he's there. And just look how quickly that Citroën disappears into the distance with its turbo fully functioning. Well, Danny didn't need that delay as he seeks to catch Hirvonen's Ford teammate Latvala. He will have lost a few seconds getting past the Finn there. Finish boards are fast approaching now. Can he claim third? Oof, close but not quite. Latvala stays in third for now, but Sordo just 0.3 of a second behind. Sordo not very impressed with being held up then. Hirvonen, meanwhile, should make it to the end of the stage, and it will be interesting to see his reaction after that rather dramatic run through Santa Marina.
He said that he bumped you in the back to get you out of the way, but he didn't say he'd lost time. He wasn't too angry.
Well, I'm good he did, because we just got the message way too late that he's so close, and when he passed us we got the message that he's right behind us, so I just didn't have a clue he was so close already.
Sordo almost into the podium places then. He claimed his first fastest time of the weekend despite that delay. Solberg was second fastest and is now just under 45 seconds behind the leader. Hirvonen lost over 4 minutes after his turbo problems. Matthew Wilson has had an encouraging run since the switch to a sealed surface setup. The Stobart Ford man is up to 6th following Ogier's earlier setback and on course for his best ever result in Catalonia.
Flat crest 40, left 5 minus, 360.
Federico Villagra's last outing of 2010 though has hit a frustrating setback. An engine problem forced the Munchies Ford driver to stop in the road section after stage 7. With a number of drivers hitting problems ahead of him, a composed drive from Abu Dhabi-based Khalid Al-Qasimi has seen the Ford man move up to 9th. Back at the sharp end meanwhile, and while Loeb may be looking unstoppable out front, further back the rest of the point-scoring places are still keenly contested. Danny Sordo has been chasing the Ford Focus of Jari-Matti Latvala all day, and in stage 11 the Finn's resistance is finally broken. After a sluggish day 1, the Spaniard has looked a completely different prospect on these flowing asphalt roads. He snatched his 3rd place from Latvala and can now set his sights on Petter Solberg in 2nd. Danny's charge through stage 11 saw him close to within 14 seconds of Petter Solberg, a fact that has produced an inspired response from the Norwegian privateer. Petter has reacted to the threat from Sordo in emphatic style. Finding the sweet spot with his setup, Solberg has absolutely flown through these wide corners of stage 12 and claims his 2nd fastest time of the rally.
6 left half long opens 180. Right over small crest 84 left minus half long tightens early.
Mikko Hirvonen collected a 30-second penalty for arriving at the stage 11 start 3 minutes late. The Finn was delayed while he reconnected the turbo pipe that had come off in the previous test. He's back up to speed now and done enough to stay ahead of Matthew Wilson.
Huomio, nyt vasen laita jarru 6, oikein nopea. 5, vasen nopea aja. Jatkuu vasen täysilinnyn keskeltä, jatkuu vasen loivailinnyn jarru 4, lyhyt oikein eri tiukka aja. 8, oikein eri aja. 150. Vasen nopea tiukka. Ja lyhyt oikein täys. 200. Oikein nopea risteys. Mene. 280.
Sebastian Loeb claimed his 4th stage win of the day in the 2nd pass through La Massara. And while he may have lost a couple of seconds to Solberg in the final test, he still has his eyes firmly on the prize of a 6th consecutive Spanish win. After another dominant display of driving today, only a big mistake or mechanical failure can stop him now.
Et droite 90 plus Milo, sur gauche 80 plus Lothar, ouvre et attention, droite 110
This is how things stand going into the final overnight break. Loeb looking comfortable out front while there is an intriguing battle ahead for 2nd between Petter Solberg and Sordo. Latvala's not out of it yet, the Ford man just over 10 seconds behind the Spaniard. There are just 2 stages ahead and these are repeated to make a total distance of 92.3 kilometres, but the crew's main focus will be on the 42 kilometres of El Priorat. This is the longest of the event and one of the fastest. It's also a big favourite with the fans who'll be cheering Danny Sordo all the way. La Serra d'Almos is a 4-kilometre sprint with plenty of cuts and bumps. Here we go then, the final action of the latest assault on the Spanish tarmac. One slip up from the world champion Loeb and Petter Solberg is poised to strike. Another wide flowing road here in El Priorat, and as ever in Spain there is plenty of opportunity for corner cutting.
And 4 left minus long, tightens long into early 6
It's great for finding the fastest line, but clipping the apexes too aggressively does come with a risk of punctures. The Norwegian hasn't won a rally for 5 years, but has again shown incredible pace in Spain, despite the limited resources he has as a privateer. Petter has a tough day ahead as he seeks to hold off the attentions of Danny Sordo. After a miserable first day, the local star has been fighting back ever since. He's determined to claw his way up to second place and begins the final morning within 17 seconds of Solberg. Jari-Matti Latvala is not completely out of this fight for the podium places either. The 25-year-old seems to improve with every passing tarmac rally and is doing his best to stay in touch with the Citroens. With his fourth place looking secure, though, it's unlikely he'll take too many risks on a weekend that marks Ford's 200th rally in partnership with M Sport. Loeb will be thankful he has his healthy lead of more than 40 seconds. This blisteringly quick 42-kilometre stage is the longest of the weekend, and at such high speeds, anything could still happen. Seb is the first to pass the thousands of fans camped out at the famous El Molar hairpin. And he does make it safely through stage 13.
I'm not sweating so much, so after 42 kilometers it seems that I was not pushing too hard. But in these long stages with the tire we have, we cannot push so hard. If you push at the start, then you destroy and you lose everything you gain.
Petter Solberg seems to have saved his tyres well, despite the pace he's setting, as he attempts to keep Sordo at arm's length. Terrific fight here on the final morning. Petter absolutely on the limits in El Priorat. And let's get a closer look at this fight for second using virtual spectator. At the 15-kilometre split time, Petter has the edge.
40. 6 left minus half long opens.
1.3 seconds up there. And moving further into the stage, coming up to 28.3 kilometres, Danny's got in front. A terrific fight for the position here. Sordo a long way ahead now.
4 right plus half long, tight 3 deep in and 4 left plus half long.
He's up by 4.6 seconds with another 14 kilometres still to run. Petter has made it through the stage. Let's catch up with the Norwegian at the stop control.
Petter, it all looks pretty calm in here, but the time loss is not what you'd have wanted. 5.2 down on Danny at the last split.
I know, I took maybe a little bit too careful in the middle with the tires, you know, and I was following low splits and it looked quite good. But seems like I lost at the end there again, but yeah.
Sordo's fans still making plenty of noise, but their hero is really being made to fight for his 5th consecutive second-place finish on home soil. We're about to find out what he's been able to do in stage 13. A big charge from Danny to the finish, and he is going to be quicker. That's a great start to the day from Sordo, almost 5 seconds quicker than Solberg. He's now just 12 seconds behind.
I need to try a little bit more, but it's really difficult now because we drive the 3 in the limit, so it's not easy, but it's still some. So we will see.
The fight for second continues to hold the attention then, while further back Matt Wilson is on course to claim his best ever result in Spain, and it's certainly been one of his strongest displays on tarmac. He's still in a comfortable 6th.
Left 6 damp, 40 right 4. 60, max left.
Frigate Turan has also impressed on his first outing in a Ford Focus. The Hungarian privateer is looking a bit wild though, and his run in 7th comes to an abrupt end with a big off early in El Priorat. Turan's retirement provides Khalid Al-Qasimi with a late boost up the standings. Replacing the privateer in 7th, the Emirati driver is now on course for his best finish of the season. After the first stage of day 3, the battle for second has closed up again. Sordo is now just 12 seconds behind Solberg, with Latvala slipping further adrift in 4th. Kievanen and Wilson round off the top 6. Welcome back to this exciting climax of the WRC Rally de España. Sebastian Loeb leads, but the battle for second between Peter Solberg and Dani Sordo looks set to go down to the wire. The second stage being run in this final day is the short blast through La Serra d'Almos. Just 4 kilometres long, it won't give Dani Sordo much chance to make any inroads into Solberg's advantage. But we do have a rare opportunity now to follow the Citroën Total driver through an entire stage from start to finish. Pace notes, as ever, being read by co-driver Diego Vallejo, and Sordo really focused on them here. A very different feel to this short stage. It's a lot more narrow with tighter corners, so caution needed despite its short length. Plenty of corner cutting too, so Dani can carry as much speed through as possible. It does carry a danger of damaging his wheels, so this aggressive approach isn't without its risks. It might be short, but there are some really challenging sections in this stage, and it is breathtakingly quick at times too. It's also quite an abrasive surface here, and with his tyres already very worn after that 42-kilometre stage previously, he might be struggling for grip by the end. There are still plenty of Dani's compatriots lining the stage. The Spanish fans are renowned for their passionate support, and they are desperate for their home hero to win this fight for second. And despite this stage's relatively short length, Dani is making every kilometre count. He hasn't stopped pushing and gets another second closer to Solberg. That's 4.1 kilometres cleared in just over 2.5 minutes. So Sordo now 10.8 seconds behind Petter with 2 stages and just over 46 kilometres remaining. Latvala looking safe in 4th ahead of teammate Hirvonen, but it's still Sebastian Loeb at the top. On to the final pair of stages then, and with just 46 kilometres remaining, the battle for second is set to go down to the wire. And the Spanish fans are certainly excited about the fight ahead. Peter Solberg is into the epic El Priorat stage first, and the Citroën Privateer is using all of the road as he attacks hard around the El Molar hairpin.
Very in over crest and line, 5 left tightens 2, tightens 1 plus, don't cut.
He's getting really good grip on these smooth tarmac roads. Petter is right on the limit in some of the fastest corners in the championship as he concentrates on the pace notes from Chris Patterson.
Long, keep very in, and 4 left minus tightens, cut 2 minus double tightens, 2 right, 6 left minus, and 6 right minus long, keep very in over crest into 6 left, half long tightens, 5 plus opens. 80 line.
It's over to Dani Sordo to see if he can overhaul that 11-second deficit. The fans yelling their support. Dani is completely committed too. The Spanish spectators will be loving every second of this thrilling fight as they will their home star on. Mikko Hirvonen has had a quiet rally. Ford's #1 has been holding 5th place for most of the event. His confidence has taken a real blow after a terrible run of bad luck. But it has been a solid display from Mikko on Spain's blisteringly quick tarmac roads. And a terrific view of the smooth flowing asphalt surface and Nico's bumper cam there. Further back, Sébastien Ogier will still be a frustrated man after throwing away his hopes of fighting for the win on day 2. Thankfully though, the Frenchman has been able to take his frustration out on the Spanish stages, but Sébastien has admirably fought his way back into the point-scoring places. No mean feat after losing more than 15 minutes with that costly day 2 crash. Ken Block will leave a happy man after his first visit to Spain. The American has survived the fastest tarmac roads on the championship with a creditable 9th place finish, and with it, his first WRC points. A man for whom scoring points is almost second nature is Sébastien Loeb. With his lead still looking safe, the 7-time world champion has made it through the 42 kilometres of El Priorat as he edges closer to another win. Further back, it's far from comfortable for Peter Solberg, who is reacting to Sordo's split times well.
6 right minus half long tight, 5 plus opens 30, line, need 2 right minus half long tightens, don't cut 1 plus, tightens, keep it.
His 11-second lead may be trimmed a little here, but that's still been an impressive run for the Norwegian.
100, 6 left tight, 5 tightens in the corner.
You had it all under control by the sounds of things.
I followed the splits quite well, but I know for sure that some of the cuts that they've been taking have taken time, you know. So I just want to try to be smart and that's it. I don't take any risk.
Solberg sounding confident, but Sordo is still charging hard. Into the final few corners now, and this really is an aggressive display from the Spanish start.
Para derecha 5, muy rápida, larga, poco tarde, 10 situar, queda 5, posible toe, 10, atención, derecha 4, poco.
How much time can he take out here? 5.7 seconds quicker than Petter. It's another good drive from Danny, but is that too little, too late?
I lost yesterday in the States in live. 3 seconds and a half was really important, but anyway, it's the life, it's the rallies. The moment is not finished, but it's nice.
Well, Danny almost conceding defeat there, and you can see why. He's still 5.1 seconds behind Petter with just the short 4-kilometre sprint through stage 16 to run. Latvala remains in 4th place with Hirvonen 5th. The final 4-kilometre stage then, where the Spanish fans are ready and waiting. And this should be a formality for Sébastien Loeb, who's on course for his 61st victory. It has been another faultless performance from the world champion. He's led from start to finish, despite running first on the gravel roads of day 1. No mistakes from co-driver Daniel Elena either. And Loeb's winning run in Spain is extended to 6 rallies. The Citroën C4 remains unbeaten on this surface on its final tarmac rally.
Win number 61 and 6 in Spain now.
Very good result in Spain again. So for sure I'm very happy. It was nothing to play for the championship here, so we could drive without any pressure. So I started to push very hard in the first day on gravel, and since that we are leading, and then 2 days on tarmac were a little bit easier, and perfect result again.
5 seconds is a lot of time for Sordo to make up in such a short stage, and Solberg can sense that second place is almost in his grasp.
Long tights, don't cut, keep in over crest. So like left and line 6.
The Norwegian, of course, keeps attacking to the very end.
Don't cut 2 left, cut.
And he does seem to be finishing with a flourish. It has been a good run through the final stage.
Cut 1 right tights, keep in.
And after one of his best drives of the year, all Petter and co-driver Chris Patterson can do now is wait.
5.1 was the gap. It should be enough, but how do you think it was?
The driving was very good, you know, but still, you never know. But
I came very, very sideways in one corner, you know. So I hope it should be okay. But I know I don't want to say anything before I know exactly, you know. But the feeling is good. If I've done this, I'm very happy. You know, it's very good for the championship for Rally GB. But I need the time, you guys. Come on, yeah.
Back in the stage, Sordo is giving it one last charge to the finish. Making up 5 seconds is a big ask in just 4 kilometers, but he's certainly giving it a go. These are tense times for Petter Solberg as he waits for Danny's time back at the stock control. The Spaniard is into the last few corners now. He's not going to do it. He needs a time around 2 minutes 30. He's already slower. And that reaction says it all. Petter claims second place. That's his 7th podium finish of the year, and he's straight over to thank Danny for a terrific fight. It's another Citroën top 3 lockout on tarmac, with Petter Solberg splitting the factory cars. Behind them, Jari-Matti Latvala claimed 4th, and those 12 points will be useful as he challenges Ogier for 2nd place in the championship. Back at the final service of the rally, the champagne has been on ice for their returning heroes.
Another great victory, and what is really special is that we won every time on tarmac with this car. Even if it was not a complete tarmac rally, it was gravel the first day, so if I would have lost, I would say it was not a tarmac rally, but as we win, we say that we won every tarmac rallies with C4, so it's a great moment.
Loeb, of course, already crowned Drivers' Champion, but with that win, he moves on to 251 points. 2nd place is still up for grabs, with Ogier, Latvala and Petter Solberg separated by just 16. Citroën have also claimed the Manufacturers' Championship, and with 2 on the podium here, they move on to 431 points. Despite a difficult rally, there has been something to celebrate at the Ford team as Carlos Sainz presented team boss Malcolm Wilson with a memento to mark M Sport's 200th World Rally since the company took over the Ford Rally program back in 1997. And as a reflection of their contribution to the WRC, they are also awarded the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally. 3 stalwarts of the M Sport team, Wilson, George Black and John Millington, gratefully accepted the award. So just 1 round left, and that's the traditional season closer Wales Rally GB. You can see a full preview at WRC.com, where you'll also find some exclusive unseen footage from Catalonia, including a closer look at the setup changes at service to change the Ford Focus from a gravel to tarmac car in 1 hour. But back on the seafront in Salou, there are more champagne celebrations for Sebastian Loeb and Daniel Elena, who are once again the champions of Rally Catalonia. And we'll leave you with a few memories of Loeb's victory in Spain. We'll see you again in Wales.
Push it.